Hi, I'm J.E. Bazzi, a speculative fiction author and the writer of the Malfunction Trilogy and the Raventree Society. I am here today to do the Booktube Newbie Tag. So if you haven't come in on the other streams, this is just really relaxed, really chill. Quick disclaimer, if you hear me yell, it's because one of my cats is currently trying to get comfortable on me and sometimes scratches. And if said cat comes within view of the camera, don't worry, she is not a member of the undead. She just has a skin allergy. So now that that's out of the way, I have the questions written down here. I got them offline. They're a little bit paraphrased, but ouch. Like I said, they should work. And then after we are through with the newbie tag portion, I am sorry, everything's falling apart. After you're done with the booktube portion, I do want to chat real quick about the next book that I have coming out, which is the Raventree Society. So if you want to hear that, stay tuned and we'll talk about that. So without any more ado, we are going to get to the questions. All right, so number one, why did you start this channel? Basically, I love learning from YouTube. I love podcasts. I love just collecting as much information and getting to know people as well as possible, and hearing people's opinions. So it's something that I love doing. I wanted a little bit more of a presence on this platform. The main thing is I enjoy doing live streams to get to know people, my readers and fellow authors and whatnot. And I figured if I put it on Facebook or if I put it on Instagram or on Twitter, it disappears after a while and you can't come back and see it. But if I put it on YouTube, you guys kind of get to see a document of how I'm slowly kind of getting to be comfortable with video camera. So for a long time, I wanted to do it really professionally and get a really good camera and a nice setup so it doesn't look like this behind me. But, time, money, I work a lot. And I decided if I didn't go ahead and just do it as is, that it would never happen. And for those of you guys who are really interested in hearing, you will probably be happy just me sitting in front of my lopsided, not so pretty bookshelf. It may not look gorgeous, but these are gems. Number two, fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube. Well, for one, if you're talking about the typical kind of more popular aspect of BookTube, I read very, very different books than most of them. I read a lot of variety. So pretty much the only thing I'm not into is, I'd say, like erotica and romance. So classics, middle grade, young adult mostly, science fiction and fantasy and contemporaries and whatever you can think of. I will be talking about it. So that's one aspect. The other thing is I'm coming to it, and I know there are other booktubers who are also authors, but I'm coming to this with the perspective of an author of 2 full-length books and multiple short stories. Doing this as a profession, and I'm doing it quite seriously. I care a lot about good quality work. So whether I like it or not, whether I try to approach a book as an author or not, every book that I pick up, it's going to come out of me because I'm an author. I'm going to be comparing them to my voice, and I'm going to be comparing them to my writing style, and I'm going to be looking at different aspects than the typical reader will be looking at. So you'll kind of get that aspect as well. So if you want to hear about books from an author perspective, this is a good channel. All right, so number 3, what are you most excited about for the channel? I think the big thing is just connecting to people. And I kind of started out knowing that this probably won't get the widest reach, and I'm fine with that because I am excited to get to know the people that I can get to know. And it's a great community. It's a great platform. I love hearing fellow readers come together in the kind of day and age where reading is not the top of people's lists. Storytelling still is, but there's a lot of people who don't read. So coming together with a community that still loves books is really exciting for me. Yeah, that's I think probably every booktuber says that, but I think we're kind of all in it for the same thing, is that we love books and we want to connect to other people who love books. And for me as a writer, I'm reading multiple books a day. I'm writing usually multiple projects a day. I'm having input in other people's books. It is a good portion of my life, and I am just excited to get to know other people who really love the written word. Number 4, why do you love reading? As far back as I can remember, my family has been into books. My dad's probably the only person in my family who's not, well, I guess one of my brothers isn't as much, who's not like a big reader. I remember as a kid, every night we would sit down with my mom and she would read one chapter of the Bible, and then she would read one chapter of whatever book we were reading at the time. And that instilled a great love of the written word in me. And yeah, just from there, just books they're incredible. They give you a chance to see the world from someone else's eyes in a way that nothing else can. Science, history, nothing else is going to give you this perspective of the world from someone else. Even if this someone else is a fake person, even if this isn't an autobiography or a memoir, you're still getting to see the world through someone else's perspective, and that's just astounding that we have that ability through some squiggles on a page, So yeah, that's definitely why I love reading, why it's always going to be a part of my life. Number 5, what book or series got you into reading? Like I said, this reading has been part of my life as long back as I can remember. So maybe the Little Critter books or Berenstain Bears. I think the first full chapter books that I can remember reading are the American Girl doll books. Back when it was just like 5 American girls and they all had the same names for every book, meet so-and-so and so-and-so's birthday and whatnot. So those are the first books I can actively remember reading, like a chapter book format. But I know I've read books before that. I remember learning to read as a homeschooler. There's a book, Jill is a Pig, Jill wears a wig, which was marvelous for my older sister because my name is Jill. So she loved that book. Me, not so much, but still love the reading. So yeah, I cannot possibly pinpoint one book. Just always been there. Okay. Question number 6. What question would you ask your favorite booktubers? I have been really lucky in the fact that I've gotten to know a lot of the booktubers that I really love. Novel Lush, Beautifully Bookish Bethany, Leanne's Library. There's a few more that, I've just had a great opportunity to be able to communicate with them, to talk with them, to get to know them a little bit. I tend to go more towards the lesser known booktubers when I'm watching regularly because YA is not really my thing, and I love science fiction and fantasy, and a lot of the well-known booktubers are more into, contemporary or whatnot. So I really like to have that authentic viewpoint. And the great thing about Booktube and about YouTube is that a lot of times those creators are very, very eager to, get to know you, talk to you, interact with you. So I've been really lucky in the fact that I have gotten to ask my questions to most of my favorite booktubers. So I think maybe I'll just generalize, and there's the selfish side of me that it is for any booktuber, will you please read my books? But I think if I was going to ask any question, it would be, I don't even have one. It's amazing. There's just the questions in here. I get a lot of my questions answered. And like I said, people reply to comments, they answer your questions. So I don't need to put it on a live stream to get it answered. I can just comment on someone's YouTube and they're usually really gracious and interact, which is awesome. Okay, question number 7. What challenges will be the hardest to overcome? Well, I think one of them for me is just the incompetency on the camera, and that's not me being self-conscious. I'm not comfortable in front of the camera, and I know that will change. And as the quality of my materials get better, and as I have more time to be able to do things like, actually recording and editing it instead of just slapping it up there, that will improve. But I think one of the hardest things is for me to put up something that I feel is not the best quality that I can, and I really want to be a professional. So being able to just relax and come on here and have a conversation with you guys and be authentic, I think is going to be the hardest thing to kind of overcome that, stammering and stuttering and trying to put on a show and whatnot. And, there's definitely a balance, because I want you guys, my viewers, to be able to enjoy good quality and to be able to enjoy the videos without having to like squint or look cockeyed or, skip through. But yeah, just coming on camera and knowing that what I'm putting out there is subpar, maybe not in content, but more so in, my ability to be on camera and stuff. I think that's probably the biggest challenge right there. I don't think I'm going to be at a want for content. I have learned that there is a lot of content out there, and because I'm constantly involved in books and I'm not putting out multiple videos a week, I'm going to have a lot to talk about. So okay, so question number 8. When did you start reading? I think I kind of basically answered that with a question about what book or series first got you into reading. I started reading when I was, 4 or 5? There's definitely been dry spells where I haven't read as much, especially in the beginning of my marriage, because, there's so much going on when you first get married and you're building a home and you're, working a job and all those kind of things. But reading has always been a great love of mine. And even if it hasn't always been fiction, I've always had my nose in a book. So, yeah, that's an impossible question to answer. Okay. Question number 8. Where do you read? Being an indie author, love ebooks. They're incredible. I don't even have a Kindle. I read on my phone, which most of you guys are going to be like, how on earth does she do that? How does she not have a headache? Usually when I read ebooks, I'm reading shorter books and I'm reading them on the go. So it'll be at work. I'm a nanny, so there's downtime when the kids are sleeping, or perhaps when they're playing by themselves, or, we're somewhere safe and comfortable where I don't have to be constantly interacting. I can pull it out and read a few pages. So in that aspect, I can read pretty much anywhere. Like I can read at a stoplight, which I've occasionally done. I don't recommend it. It's really, really stupid. But if a book is really good, it's really good, right? As far as, just a lot of time for reading, I try to read before I go to bed for a half an hour every night. So usually I will be writing or working on some aspect of my writing up till about 11:30. So I'm trying to change that and get off at 11 so I can have some time in the Word and stuff like that first before I read. But I try to read for at least 30 minutes. Sometimes that backfires. Reading Red Rising that backfired majorly, because if you've ever read that series, you can't put them down. There's like these like pockets of action. So I was like up for hours. And there was other times that I read, what was it? The Things a Brother Knows, and also A List of Cages right up here. Those ones were books that I started reading at 11:30 and read right through till I went to work in the morning. So yeah, it's not highly recommendable, but I often read in bed. Number 10, what books do you like to read? I kind of answered that at the beginning. I read anything and everything. So I have, let's see, I have some Christian nonfiction here. I have classics like Ben-Hur, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, which I'm actually listening to an audiobook right now. I don't recommend it. I love classics, this is probably the only classic I won't recommend, unless you like listening to long lists of shellfish. I have, let's see, I have contemporaries, I have nonfiction, I have autobiographies, I have art books, I have contemporaries, I have indie books, I have pretty much anything you can think of outside of, like I said, romance. I don't do a lot of like plain romance books. I will occasionally pick up like a romance, but I haven't really read them since my early teens. And when I did read them in my early teens, it was pretty much because they were the only thing available. And erotica, I have a quite a strong distaste for as a Christian and as someone who holds the stance that I have. Not that I'm going to hate anyone for reading it, but I'm just not going to touch them with a 10-foot pole. Other than that, I think some of my favorites, I'm a speculative fiction author, so sci-fi and fantasy are amazing. I probably read more sci-fi than fantasy right now. Autobiographies are my life. I love them. Good Christian nonfiction, just depends on who they are. History, which I haven't been able to pick up a ton. Yes, this is just turning into a list of more books. I tried to pick my favorites and I can't. So yes, I read everything. Mostly classics and lots of indies right now. So when I do start doing book reviews, there are probably going to be a lot of books that either you haven't heard of or you haven't read since like high school when someone was forcing you to read them, because I'm an old soul in a somewhat old body. Not all the way there yet. It's coming. So yes, I read everything. Sorry, that is my phone. Yes, I'm a science fiction author. Yes, that is a laser gun. So yes, that's the end of the questions. I would attribute the tag, except I'm a horrible booktuber and I didn't actually look to see who saw the tag, so I guess I will put it in the comments when I find it. Yes. So, like I said, I wanted to chat with you guys real quick about the next book I have coming out. So this gorgeous cover. This was done by Pool Publishing Services, who is my go-to for gorgeous book covers. She is amazing. If you are looking for anyone to do book covers, Pool Publishing. But yeah, so this is the complete first season of the Raven Tree Society. The Raven Tree Society is a horror serial. So each short story is about 10,000 words. And there's 5 short stories in a season, and then I bind them up and make a paperback. And I actually just finished, if you go over to my Instagram, and I'll leave that there below, or my Twitter, I just finished the logo for the Raven Tree Society, which is a TV show in here. And I'm actually using that for some fun things in the future. So I'm really excited about that. But coming the 23rd is the first episode in season 2. So I'm really excited about it. I just got critique feedback on the second episode and people are really excited. They're loving the direction that the season is going. There was a lot of kind of mysteries revealed in the first season, and those are furthered. There's new mysteries and there's some old mysteries being solved in the next season. And I actually had the chance to go to one of our local haunted houses here in Orlando and tour it and take some pictures and stuff. That's actually on my Instagram as well. So I used a real haunted house for episode 4 of season 2, which I'm really excited about. So that's not episode 1. Episode 1 will be coming out on the 23rd. I'm really excited about it. If you haven't yet read them, all of the horror shorts are 99 cents up on Amazon, or if you have a Kindle Unlimited subscription, you can read them for free, Kindle Select. Yeah, so they're all available, and you can also buy the complete collection that is available in paperback or an ebook, so you don't have to buy each one individually, and it is cheaper to buy it as a complete collection. So they're really good for people who enjoy Supernatural, the CW show. Also, the lore podcast or the lore books. If you enjoy those, you'll like them. And The Haunting of Hill House, the TV show that Netflix just put out. Not the book, which I actually just got for Christmas and I'm really excited to read. But I haven't read it yet, so I can't say it's the same. But people who enjoy those shows will really enjoy the Raven Tree Society. So yeah, that's going to be, like I said, the first episode is coming out. Feel free to ask questions, and I will be very happy to answer you. But yeah, that's it for now. Eventually I'm going to get smoother at being able to talk about my own books. If anyone has spent any time with the author community, you will know that talking about our own books is kind of our worst fear, because it just comes out sounding really stupid. But I'll get better at it, and hopefully I'm better at talking about other people's books. And I'm going to start that next month, start doing book reviews and stuff. But anyways, I'm glad that you guys were able to join me. Look forward to hearing back from you guys in the future. Didn't get any comments tonight, but I didn't really expect it. And yeah, I look forward to anything in the future. Yeah, and if you are part of the Booktube community, I'm really excited to be entering your ranks. Well, that's all for tonight. Bye, guys.